Hello everybody, Bets Golden here. I'm coming at you today with a card that I'm going to make using this ornament stencil. It's from Burgess Monroe, and it'll be out along with this stamp set July 29th, 2017. I will have the link listed down below. And then I'm also going to be using this stamp set. I got started on it last night and then I thought, this might be a good tutorial. So let me show you what I first did. The first thing I did was I took a piece of green cardstock. I think this is Jurassic cardstock. And I basically cut it down to 5.5 by 11. And then I folded it because I want it to go into an envelope that measures exactly 6 inches. So this is going to be my card base. And I am doing a traditional Christmas card this time around because I've had so much fun doing non-traditional things that it would be nice to have one traditional Christmas card. Then what I did was I cut this down to 5. I think that this is this 5 or 5.5? Let me check. This is actually 5 inches, 5 by 5. And I took my stencil and I just lined it up. I can't remember what side I did it on, like so. And I kept my hands in the spots and the ornaments I wasn't inking. And I used my Wagon Surface ink. It's a red. With my little dabber, and I just rubbed it in all over the place, and it left me with this. So from here, what I want to do is I want to just kind of, make this a little extra special. I am going to do it in a manner that will allow it to be mailed, so it will stay flat. I do have family that lives out of state. Actually, all of my family lives out of state. So it's important that I mail things off that are, flat. Otherwise, it gets kind of costly and annoying to have to go to the post office all the time for a stamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this special, and I want it to be green, red, and white and gold. I really want it to be, we're going to class it up a little bit. Let's just say that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over my edges with embossing ink. This is clear. So I just am going to go over these edges with embossing ink. I don't really care how perfect this is. I just want to emboss the edges. So I use this, and I'm going to be using this again. And I'm going to be using some gilded embossing powder to just get those edges nice and embossed. And I'm just pouring it all around. And if this goes in any spots that I don't want it to go, it's no big deal. I just take a dry paintbrush and I just paint off the sections. And it looks like, yeah, I have a couple sections and I'm going to have to take a paintbrush too. So I'm going to go get a paintbrush and I'll show you how to do that. I love this paintbrush for this purpose. It's Japanese. It's real soft. And I just go over and I am just removing the powder, the embossing powder that I don't want in those spots. And then something also that I do that is highly technical is I just take it and just bang the heck out of it on the side of something hard. So that's what I'm left with. I'm going to go ahead and emboss this now, and I'll be right back to show you what this looks like, and we'll continue on. Okay, this has been embossed now with gold, so it has a beautiful gold edge to it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp and die cut out my sentiment. And I want to use this set of stamps, and I'm thinking Jingle All the Way. I think that's really cute. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that again with the clear emboss, and I'm going to emboss it again in the gilded, which is gold. I want to do it on this red cardstock. So let me find first the little, I'm using these die cut circles to do this. That looks like that's going to be my winner. So let me go ahead and get my Cuttlebug out of the over here, and I'm going to go ahead and just die cut this. All right, so let's take a look at my circle. And I love it. It cut perfect. Okay, so here's my little circle with the stitches. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp and emboss my sentiment as well as the edges of this circle too in that gold. So I like to take a foam pad. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I'm a big fan of this whenever you're using these kind of stamps. I love that they're clear and you can get perfect placement on them, but you do need to have a foam pad. This is by Darius. Found in most craft sections. It comes in a huge sheet. I actually cut this down, but the sheet is really big. Great value, $8. You can use your coupon from Joann's on it, get it, 50% off for $5 and get like 8 of those. And this I have been using for like 3 or 4 years. So it's pretty amazing. I love it. Or you can go over to the children's section of your craft store and just pick up one of their little foam mats for $1. So it just, whatever works. It's not the end of the, it's not, as long as you got a foam pad under there, you're good. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my sentiment, and then I'll go around and I will emboss it. I get a little ink happy on this because I really want to make sure I have good coverage. I think I have good coverage. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place my Jingle All the Way right there. And I'm a massager usually. I'll massage the heck out of a stamp. I don't really do CPR stamping where you pump it like you would a chest of someone who was having a heart attack. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just pick that up and perfect. Get my trusty little dry brush again and get those spots off I don't want. Oop. And I actually accidentally got the L off. Didn't mean to do that. And so I love this embossing powder. Emboss is beautiful. There's like no wax in it. I don't know the formula behind it, but it's the best embossing powder I've ever used. I can tell you that. Okay, so let me go emboss this. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to ink the edges lightly and emboss the edges in gold as well. And I'm just going to dip it in this already poured gilded embossing powder. So I just dipped it in this this gilded embossing powder, and I'm going to go ahead and heat and set this for a beautiful edge. So now we have our beautiful little sentiment on a perfect circle with beautiful gilded gold. And I'm going to go ahead and assemble my card, and then we're going to bling this up a little bit. So now it would be lovely to put this on pop dots you know, but since I want to mail it, it's not a good idea that I do that, because sometimes you might get it back because there's not enough postage on it. I hate to admit how many times I've had that happen. So I'm going to go ahead and just place this down in the center, like so, with that beautiful green background. We want it to scream Christmas. And then I want to figure out where on this I want the placement. I think I kind of like it in the center. And then I'm going to show you what we can do with the beautiful stenciling that we have done to just, you know, give it a little bit of jizz. We want to jazz it up, make it special, yet able to only have to be mailed with one stamp. I'm really not that cheap. Okay, so this is going to go. Now, if I didn't want to jizz up the background at all, I would simply add like some gold washi tape here and just run it and be done. That would be beautiful as well. Or like some pretty ribbon, but I want to jizz. So I'm going to take some stickles in gold, and I'm going to go ahead and just outline these beautiful ornaments. The reason why I didn't do this first is because I would have to wait to set this, and I don't want to wait. I want it all to dry all together. And I'm just going over the outline of each of these ornaments. I'm left-handed, so, you know, that might, I don't know, people have always, I've had a problem with having, when I write, having like a messy palm or like a messy side of my hand when I was in school. And it was because, oh, you're left-handed. I guess we write backwards for the left-handed. I don't know. This is working though. I'm not going over any previous gold spots. My left hand. I suppose if I started the other way, I would. Okay, so I did go ahead and add on the ornaments, like the little lines at the top. You know how the ornaments have almost like what you'd find on the bulbs to screw into the light fixture. I did go ahead and add those too, just to give it even some more pizzazz, but I'm not done yet. I actually want to take these beautiful scarlet two-tone sequin, bottle cap sequin, and add these in placements on some of my ornaments just to give it more personality. These are really great. They're two-tone. It looks like they're gold and red, so it's going to match perfect with this. And I love the bag that it comes in because it is like a Ziploc top. I mean, how perfect is that? How many times have we all had, you know, sequence and we don't, you know, we can't figure out how to store the stupid things. So that works absolutely perfect to store what I don't use. I'm not promoted by this. They didn't mail this to me. I actually found it at Joann's. My girlfriend originally gave me one of these, and it's brilliant. It's a quicker poker picker-upper, and there's two ends to it. This is the poking end, and you can poke things, a narrow end, a little bit of a bigger end, and then this has some kind of sticky element on it that you can actually just screw the top up, and it will give you more of this sticky stuff to help you pick things up. So I thought we'd use that. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my bottle cap sequin, scarlet, with my Brutus Monroe glue. I do have the fine tip nozzle on it, and I'm just going to put this in different spots on these, I think. And I think let's start off with that and let's see how we like it.